Gaffer, 3-1 defeat, home to Colchester today. What's your immediate reflection on the performance in result?
Yeah, not happy at all. I mean, really disappointed with the standard of defending. Gifted them goals again, 3 at home against Colchester. You know, you're devastated with that. And so, you know, we told the lads it's just not acceptable. You know, they need to dig in and get us a result. You know, it'd be nice to look at even a scruffy 0-0, you know, from this back line, but one ball down the middle has caused us too much upset today, and it's totally not good enough.
So it was 2-0 down after barely quarter of an hour. 2 long balls, simple balls to deal with. You know, he's come out in a game, you've got the plans. Can you legislate for those sort of mistakes and errors?
It's hard. I mean, I still said to the lads, you know, tactically, you know, I can accept it. You know, going, I think we were too slow in possession. So, you know, I'll take all the flack in the world. You know, I'm used to it over so many years. You know, and quite right. You know, I think I got that wrong. You know, in terms of the system. But was the system? You can put any system out there, but if it's straight ball down the middle and you lose the first and lose the second, it's a goal, 2 goals. Then kind of tune myself up over that. Well, only the fact that I picked the wrong person in there.
So obviously after 2-0 down sort of fairly early, we happy with the response for half-time? It seemed we were far too passive, lacking a bit of spark until the break.
Well, what they've got, you know, as defenders, that you know they've got a lot of experience. They're the 3 centre halves, and they organise them around. And because we give to them 2 goals, they're settled into their own half, and then it is difficult. You know, you see top games at elite level where people make it hard for teams to play against. You know, when they make it all compact and defend deep, and we were chasing it then, and you know it was less about that though. You know, yes, there needed to be more spark from a few of the players, without a shadow of a doubt, but more about we looked like we were going to self-inflict, you know, a wound to ourselves every time the ball was pumped up. And you know, this time next week it's Stevenage, and they'll do that every 5 minutes in the game.
So obviously made a change at half-time, bringing Jack Muldoon on. We fell further behind sort of fairly soon after. A couple more changes, and you know, in fairness, it looked, you know, there's a great spark, you know, a bit of positivity and chances. You know, half chances granted, but could have got a bit more on the score sheet.
Oh yeah, I mean, we were getting balls into the box, and you know, we hit the post first half. Again, it wasn't. I don't think it was about the lack of chances that we created today, and we scored another goal, and we could have scored more. But it is easier to do that when, to some extent, you know, the game's gone at 3-0, and you just right, anything now, let's have a really good go, and they let us have possession across the back. But yeah, I thought Mullers came on and proved a point. I thought Dior Angus came on and did well. Danny Grant played well throughout. Luke is always Luke, isn't he? And if we had 11 Luke Armstrongs in terms of the attitude and application and prepared to get hurt every single game, you know, we wouldn't be in the bottom third of the league.
So obviously today's gone. You mentioned before Stevenage home next week. It's going to be a tough fixture. So the work starts now before that. What are you hoping for as a reaction, you know, in training leading up to next Saturday?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I said that to the lads. I said, yeah, I've been passionate after the game. Even in the modern day game, there's a place for displaying a bit of passion and hurt, because I care so much about keeping us at this level, and you know, you never stop dreaming about then pushing on, pushing the club on. So yes, there'll be an outpouring of emotion and real passion after the game, and there's a bit of finger pointing that some people say you can't do anymore, but I did do that today, and you know, it's also for the lads not on the team. If they're not in the team now, they've got to ask themselves why. And if you play the victim and sulk and just put your snood on and hide behind that and have a long face throughout the week, it's not proving a point to me. You're only proving a point, and maybe you lack that spark in the personality to be in the team. So I need people coming out and fighting, like Luke Armstrong.